The morning after in Berlin. The Conservatives' narrow defeat in Lower Saxony left David McAllister and Chancellor Merkel with a bitter taste in their mouths. The ousted state premier, now nothing more than just another defeated candidate.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. After such an emotional roller coaster, defeat hurts all the more. We're all saddened today.
Angela Merkel had seldomly thrown her weight behind a candidate in a state election the way she did in Lower Saxony. Though Merkel's ratings are at a record high, the polls showed that her popularity doesn't automatically translate into votes for her conservative coalition. Analyst Oskar Niedermeyer says it's a wake-up call for the CDU ahead of parliamentary elections in the fall.
The CDU needs to shift the focus to the issue on which voters think Merkel is doing a good job, namely tackling the Eurozone crisis. The party needs to underline that Merkel is the only one who can steer us safely through this crisis, and the others have no alternatives to offer.
Another lesson learned: tactical voting to aid a coalition partner doesn't pay off. The Free Democrats may have scored a record result, but only because many CDU supporters used their votes to ensure their floundering coalition partners remained in power. Ultimately, those votes cost the CDU the election. Angela Merkel signaled that was a mistake that could not be repeated in September's federal election.
The national election will be one in which every party fights for its own votes. Perhaps one of the lessons to be learned from the Lower Saxony poll is that there doesn't need to be such widespread fear that the FDP will somehow drop off the face of the planet.
But fear of the FDP's demise was just what gripped the party in recent months. Endless power struggles, abysmal ratings. And then, out of the blue, the party was back from the brink, scoring 10% in Lower Saxony. Media interest was high when the party executive assembled for a post-election meeting. FDP head Philipp Rösler said he was ready to step aside in favor of his rival. Parliamentary party leader Rainer Bröderle then quickly backed down.
The captain wears the armband, and the captain is the party leader. The striker's out front. It's his job to shoot goals. That's me.
Bröderle, the newly anointed FDP Chancellor candidate, and Rösler, the old and yet somehow new leader of the pack. The FDP calls it a team solution. Critics, a lousy compromise.
I do think the new lineup can help calm inter-party tensions stoked by the leadership debate. They found a compromise that Rösler's internal opponents can live with. Another question entirely is whether this is the optimal lineup for the parliamentary election. I call it a big question. Rösler has long scored the lowest ratings of all German politicians, and I don't believe that the outcome in Lower Saxony will do anything to change that.
For the Social Democrats, that outcome is a big break. Finally, they're making positive headlines, a dream start to the 2013 election year. The win has taken their gaffe-prone Chancellor candidate Per Steinbrück out of the line of fire and pressure off the party. The SPD feels strong, but it's also profiting from consistently good showings by the Greens in state elections. For years, these elections have shown that Merkel's centre-right alliance is on the defence. The CDU has been ousted from 5 state governments since 2009, most of them, as in Lower Saxony, coalitions with the FDP. But Merkel's Conservatives aim to keep their majority in the Bundestag after the September election, with or without the FDP.
In a multi-party system, it is vital to clearly define differences to the other political camps, but not to rule out all options. There's a high probability that after the election, the winner won't be able to govern with their preferred partner, and they don't want to be seen as breaking campaign promises.
Defining differences and keeping all options open. The tone between parties in the Bundestag has been set. And in the Chancellery, it appears one decision has been made. The FDP's grace period is over. Maintaining power is the goal, even if it takes other coalition partners to achieve it.